The growth of on the internet has helping restore the other hand volume marketplace, but which effect has it had on conventional, other hand volume shops? While a box of old books arrives at Oxfam's Whitney bookstore in Oxfordshire, it's a bit-loved discovery, a jewel trunk. Officer Sally Lee and her crew heap up the great bulk of them to go direct on the shelves, the Jilly Coopers, the Lee Childses, and the John L. E. Cares. Several, the ones how include been omitted in the bathtub or scribbled in, will include to be shipped for recirculation. And they ever hold a abrupt eye out for whatever how might be a signed backup or a at first publication. But down there's a entire lot of some books to see out for these days how can be amazingly precious. In my period the retailer of other hand and branded books has modified for acceptance, says M.S. Shelter, who has been work for Oxfam for too many decades. Things love cow books, beautiful ancient fashioned or collectible families books, in the history human beings weren't very concerned. If they memorable books of their infancy the chances of conclusion it in a bookstore close them would include been zero. But thanks to the arrive of on the internet other hand volume retailer, down there is now a entire new marketplace for which MS Lee telephone call inexpensive collectibles. Medium market books cost more than rather than a pair of pounds but not cost sent to auction house. And Oxfam is manufacturing the largest of it. Present she has been list on the internet several periodicals of the 1940s and 50s on the King household for £50 how she is sure will discover a purchaser. But now down there is as well cash to be done of the type of books how utilized to collect powder in the angle of mercy shops, the thrillers, romances, celeb biographies, and Houndyard families books. Down there are no formal statistic for the amount of the other hand volume marketplace. But a examination by Statista found how in both of the UK and the US more than rather than part of us are selecting to buy more than books other hand rather than we buy brand new. And Patrick Ockvist of Planet of Books, the UK's greatest other hand volume retail dealer, estimates the marketplace is increasing by 8 to 10% a year. Down there's no stigmatization to purchase other hand currently, says Mr. Ockvist. We get them to the bathing beach and shed coffee on them, but they don't halt work since of how. Later down there's the reduced cost, and the reality how the recirculation. But down there's as well the opportunity of conclusion thing distinctive. Planet of Books had a urge recent year of a grandma in Australia who had orderly and yearly how she memorable possession as a kid, complete of quizzes, mazes and puzzles. While it arriving, she found it was her own unique backup, full in the caption of her parents to her. Planet of Books begun while its founders noted excess books creature chucked out of a mercy store, intended for garbage dump. They purchased them on the place, established to offer them a other lifetime. They fair outdoor a enormous new storage in Coventry how will enable them to keep more than rather than the 2.8 millionth books they now include in stockpile. Less competing, Lancashire-based We Buy Books, is as well expansion, discovery a other storage in Rossendale. This most of books we buy and sale are the daily books human beings include on their shelves, says Ben Wadsworth, the company's sale officer. Things love textbooks, whatever academia tends to conduct its importance. On the internet gigantic Amazon spotty the capacity of the other hand marketplace, and in 2008 purchased eBay Books, a enormous Canada market for utilized books. Love eBay and Amazon himself, eBay Books just matches buyers and sellers out of processing any of the books themselves, and operating as else plate for firms love We Buy Books and Planet of Books. It's all on amount, says Richard Davies of eBay Books. Sellers can scratch a income of prices as low as a penny advantage postage costs and packing, he says. But which on the conventional, other hand volume shops? Aren't they undermined by the on the internet trading? Mr. Davies says no. Such shops are as well serving a world society of volume lovers currently, he says. He argues the on the internet trading in fact helps other hand shops. While they shut their doors they are yet marketing. At the weekend if they are close, we're promotion books on their name, and on Monday with hope they've got several orders to trial. Palm Harrington, who runs an antique bookstore in London, agrees. Same's noticing a increasing marketplace in post-Kong for Europe at first editions of Karl Marx's Plant How in before Internet days fair wouldn't include found him. And he says on the Internet has had an vast effect on the utilized book segment, by setting data on the importance of extraordinary books at everyone's fingertips, help such less than in the aware do the largest of precious finds. In the history Mercy shops were the just purpose for driven piles of undesirable books. Now firms love We Buy Books and Planet of Books are offer volume owners the opportunity to sell their utilized books to them, with specifically intended apps. But will the wound charities? Planet of Books Patrick Ockvist argues its app will draw further books on the other hand marketplace quite rather than cannibalizing grant to Mercy. Planet of Books is as well on to add an stock option to its application, Zifit, that allows volume owners to sacrifice the revenue of their utilized volume to Mercy. Oxfam says the growth of on the Internet, by manufacturing the marketplace more than translucent, and provided its voluntary in specialist guide, has helping to increase its revenue of books. But how doesn't indicate you can do cash out of each amount. Down there is yet such a item as an undesirable volume. Mercy shops and other hand shops Dong T include area for several reiterate volumes of one-day popular titles. And though the on the Internet storage-based operative include several books they Dong T believe its cost sock. The Dan Tan episode, for copy, sold out in such a large numbers initially they just would never all discover buyers so just the ones in end top state are stored for resell. This ultimate sample is 50 Shades of Grey, says Ben Wadsworth at We Buy Books. We were reselling it at first, but following the buzz had dead downward and everyone had recited, down there were hundreds of thousands of copies for selling on the web, but no consumer demand. Books love how, victims of their own successful, are yet intended for pulping and recirculation in paperboard, that can at low be utilized to pack up else other hand volume.